Hey guys, Uncle Ray. Welcome to another episode of a Crypto Bellwether. I don't always tell you what you want to hear, but I tell you what you need to hear to make an informed decision. If you're watching this, I'm guessing you own at least one of the ISO20022 Compliant Tokens, and you're probably looking for some information of anything that pertains to some of those tokens. Well, this morning we got an announcement from the Fed that they have launched a digital dollar pilot program with some of the largest institutional banks in the world. So I went down the rabbit hole trying to get the nuggets to pass on to you guys of which one of our favorite ISO tokens are going to benefit the most. Well, I didn't get the answer that I wanted, but I'm going to forward this information to you. And overall, it's kind of what I thought, but I did verify it. But there is some positive information that I think everyone needs to hear so that they'll understand how the banking reset is going to transpire. Because right now, when you do as much research as I do, you you can see a lot of the pieces being put together. Because right now we're probably an eighth or maybe a fourth of the way into the setup of what it's kind of going to look like. It's really early, but whereas say 6 months ago we didn't have pretty much any pieces put in place. We were just guessing. And that's why most of us, at least for me, started stacking the ISO 20022 compliant tokens. Well, some things have changed and it's going to keep changing. So if you want to stay informed, guys, I got you. But just be aware it's not leading to the direction that we want. Now, that being said, not financial advice. No matter how the banking reset transpires, I truly believe that, like Quant, XLM, Algorand, XRP, they're going to do fine. They're going to get their share. But as far as I'm concerned, they're not going to get the lion's share. And for anyone to tell you guys that the banking reset is going to be like flipping a switch and then all of a sudden, the ISO 20022 compliant tokens are going to control the banking system and explode, that's not going to happen, guys, for whatever that's worth. Because this banking reset has already started and it's going to be step by step by step. Now, to the average person, yes, it's going to look like a switch was flipped. But for people that follow along every day, I see it growing, and you're going to see it grow as well. Now, the banks involved are some of the most aggressive in the blockchain area. It's Wells Fargo, Citibank, MasterCard, HSBC, Bank of Mellon, PNBC Bank, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan. Now, when I saw those names, because I've been researching them so much, I know right now that particular group are really dominating that sector. Now, I uncovered a lot of information that I suspected a couple of weeks ago, but now I know to be true. What these banks are doing, and they're partnered with companies like IBM and Accenture and the exchanges around the world and any entity that basically moves money around like Swift or any payment system like MoneyGram. What they're doing right now is they're setting up these huge network, and it's going to be private, and about 90% of everything they do is not with any of our favorite ISO 20022 tokens. It's their private blockchains, and that's the direction that they're going in. Now, this particular pilot is to use distributed ledger technology. Now, if this was 6 months ago, I would have thought for 100% that would have been Hbar, XDC, XRP, whatever. But now I know that at least 5 of these major corporations or banks have their own private blockchain. And I've verified it on the phone a few times and in email. And that wasn't a good pill to swallow, but I'm over it now. But at least I know what it's kind of looking like. It could change tomorrow, but one thing everyone should understand, guys, is this next bull run, if we get any regulation at all, and I know that part's going to seem like a switch, because I personally believe that, like the XRP case announcement, regulation, every compliance, everything that we're waiting on to happen, like the Bitcoin spot ETF, all that stuff is probably going to hit just back to back to back, and they're going to roll out this reset. And what I see every day, and I'm going to verify this in this video of all the stuff that I'm seeing, but I know for a fact, unless we have some crazy world event, these banks and large corporations and Wall Street, and the banks like JP Morgan, because there's a big difference when you say JP Morgan, but JP Morgan is kind of a consultant bank of the banks. It's a brokerage house as well. So all these entities are putting these pieces of the pie together to take all their customer money and put it into crypto. Now, it's going to be very specific projects. It's not going to be across the board, probably. I know for a fact that it's going to start with Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is documented, and I'll show you in one of these clips I'm going to show you. But that's well documented, because what they're doing right now across the world, every single bank out there that has any substance to it is setting all this up. They're part of it. And they are joined with these custody corporations that are going to custody their money. So what they're going to do is try to bring all their customers. They got millions and billions or trillions of dollars sitting on their banks with their customers, IRA money, whatever it is. And they're going to offer crypto and digital assets to their customers, and they want to control it. They don't want anyone else going after their customers. So why they're so quiet, what they're trying to do is put all these pieces together, have it set up so that they could literally do a marketing thing, and it will be like flipping a switch, and then all of a sudden people will, that has money with a big bank, even if it's just in cash, sitting there drawing its, 0.25% interest, or if it's in an IRA, or if it's, sitting on the stock exchange, whatever, they're going to roll out, hey, what do you think about Bitcoin? What do you think about Ethereum? Let me educate you about digital assets. Do you own any NFTs, etc., etc.? And they're going to custody all that for them. And that's what they're setting up. So the good news, it's not, the ISO20022 tokens, pump news that I wanted. But the good news is, guys, no if and buts about it. Like, we speculate what's going to happen, for instance, with XRP. If they're going to win, or if they're going to lose, will they stay in America? How much is it going to pump? All that. We're speculating. But this is not, in my opinion, speculation. As soon as the government does whatever it is they're going to do, the masses are going to roll into crypto in a big, big, big way. And it's going to start with Bitcoin and move into Ethereum as well. and then it'll start getting other real world utility tokens will be involved. I truly believe that whenever this happens, the next bull run, as long as we can get that compliance, it's going to be absolutely massive. Now, here's the part that I don't like, and most people don't like. Bear with me. We're going to talk about Partior, JP Morgan, and DBS blockchain payment system. Because a lot of people, when I get comments that I don't do my research. Well, I got news for everyone. For whatever this is worth, the difference between me and the majority of people that the average person gets their information is, they only get their information about, say, their favorite token. They research that and they may know everything about that token. I research all the competition. I want to see who all the players are, and I follow the money and I follow the movement of whatever's transpiring on the field. So it's a lot easier to understand where to place my money, which I take very serious, when I know who's doing what. It's like betting on football and you know everything about your team, but you have no idea that Tom Brady is the quarterback, say 10 years ago for the competition. And you're thinking your team's going to the Super Bowl, and you're highly mistaken, for whatever that metaphor is worth. Now, I want to read something to you. Partior is basically been bought by JP Morgan, a piece of it, and all these other banks and institutions and companies. They've all bought into this particular corporation. It says Partior, the blockchain-powered platform for value exchange from JP Morgan and DBS Bank and Temasek, was unveiled a year ago in Singapore. 2 weeks ago, Standard Chartered joined as a backer. Now, for whatever it's worth, guys, Standard Chartered is the biggest investor to date in the banking sector in crypto, for whatever that's worth. And I did a video that documented that a couple weeks ago. It says Partior is a interbank network supporting multi-currency payments starting with the US dollar, the Singapore dollar, and 6 more currencies currently onboarding. A year on, the company's global ambitions have become evident. Now, what are those ambitions? Because, guys, we're always following crypto, but these are corporations that own blockchains as well, and they're private tokens, and they're putting their private network together. But it says the stated number one objective is to build a generally available platform that could support and scale a global ledger. Unfortunately, guys, that's their private ledger. Now, it says Partior is engaged with 60 banks across 15 jurisdictions, and when he spoke to the Ledger Insights, he was in London at the Bank of London. Now, it talks about in this article that they have a remittance strategy with SWIFT. They talk about how in this article that they are a competitor and maybe have a network that is better than SWIFT. That being said, it also says that they are setting up their network to have interoperability with SWIFT. Either way, they win. Now, here is a good nugget for an ISO20022 compliant token. Out of literally, guys, about 20 articles, the only token that was talked about is ChainLink for the interoperability with SWIFT to their network. So that is pretty positive. Now, it's a wealth of information, but I want to share something else with you guys. In this article right here, um, it talks about, let me see what it says I wanted to share with you guys. Um, well, here we go. It says, after the proof of concepts, a report summarizing the findings from design and testing will be released. It will include an outline of guidelines for participants in the theoretical FMI, as well as legal assessments of finality and settlement and other aspects of RLN construct. Now guys, for whatever this is worth, this is why I know, and I don't like it, but this is why I know that this particular group is going to get the lion's share. Not only do I see, everything they're putting together and all the unlimited money that they have, I didn't know what financial market infrastructure, what FMI was. So I looked it up. It's financial market infrastructure. Well, basically, guys, that's almost like an ISO20022, structure. All that is a standard. And see, that's the difference between the legacy banking system and Wall Street and all the players that move the world around. See, they play a different game. And guys, like the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, the number one thing they did outside of putting billions of dollars in marketing and partner together to create and, set on top and put all their stuff into Ethereum, guys, they set the standard to Ethereum for whatever that's worth. The EVM, token, what is it, R20 token, but that EVM is the standard that everything uses, from Swift all the way down to all the banks. That's how they get you. So when people think that, Ethereum, for whatever this is worth, and I'm not shilling Ethereum, but that's how they got it so big and powerful. They set the standard. Now, for the people that, believe what I have to say and don't really need verification, you probably should just hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and you don't need to hear me out, because I'm just going to get into some of the stuff that these powerful entities have, and I find it very interesting, and it does help me understand the big picture. But Arch, whatever that word is, just got licensed for tokenized digital asset. Well, that particular group, especially JP Morgan, is partnered with them, not only in a relationship, but with their money. When you look at this right here, Invesco, which I had never heard of, but this is the type stuff that they're doing, guys. Invesco is well, I lost my spot, but Invesco is basically just a big hedge fund of money, and they just launched a ETF, but it's going to they're going to offer that ETF and set it on their private blockchain. Let's see. Now, here's the news why I'm telling you I know for sure, not financial advice, but look at this. This is Zodia. That's another custody corporation that the banks are using. Those banks, which they use more than one, but this one they put money into as backers. But it says Zodia offers custody services for Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin, which I didn't see. I wouldn't think they would be using Bitcoin Cash, but they are. Now, there's a lot of those custody companies, guys. I had never even heard of those like 3 weeks ago, and now I know of like 15. And they are a major sector because, they're the ones that are going to keep all the money safe. Now, for whatever this is worth, I did a video about the biggest custody company, and it uses chain analysis. It is and chain analysis is basically the company that verifies all the compliance data and all the transactions, and that sits on Algorand. And I'll leave that link down below if you want to see that, because it's not going to pump Algorand right now. But guys, fast forward a year or two when your bank is offering, Bitcoin, and Wall Street is starting to bring their money into these big corporations that are custodying their money, and chain analysis is the biggest one that tracks all the compliant data. Every time that money moves back and forth any way it does, it's pegging a transaction on Algorand. That is going to be explosive long term. Again, not financial advice. This is another just company that these guys have invested in. See, these banks have bought up all these companies. Like this says, welcome to Portal, the door into world leading distributor ledger technology. It's private technology. Their private technology. That instead of using our ISO20022 compliant tokens, they're using their stuff. This is I believe, an Italian company. It says Calindi is the future of finance, and it's basically just a payment network. Singapore Exchange, guys, that exchange is going to be big, and it may end up being one of the biggest exchanges in the world, because all these corporations are putting their money and partnerships into SGX. Now, when I looked at these big corporations like this, SETL and IZNES, that's two major players in the financial world on the other side of the world. This is a payment company that is specializing in cross-border payments that is going to be private as well, but it's spun off from Citigroup. But it's part of that same network. Look at this corporation, Market Node, a joint venture between SGX Group, which is that exchange, the people that own that exchange, and Tesamark, multi-asset digital market infrastructure. Guys, they're building everything they need. And see, that's the difference. For whatever this is worth, crypto's not playing out like I wanted. It's going to be dominated by corporate America. They have all the money, and they have the resources, and they have the roadmap. And guys, they are doing it fast. You got Swift, Clearstream, Northern Trust, guys. They are big. Again, private network of JP Morgan. Anyway, guys, I think that's enough. I could go on and on, but what I'm seeing is that the big banks are going to keep their legacy system in place. They're going to get the bulk of all this is going to go set on like their networks, their blockchains, right? Now, that being said, they will have to use certain ISO 20022 tokens, period. They're going to have to. And I believe Quant, XLM, XRP, ChainLink, all of those are going to get their share. Casper, you name it, Hbar, they're going to get their share. They're going to be fine. But so don't let this, worry you. It's not going to. I don't think any of those are going to go to the moon like I thought maybe 3 months ago, because I didn't know how tough the competition was, and I really assumed no matter how the network was created, this is the way I thought, and I do not believe that now. I thought, well, yeah, you'll have XRP over here. You'll have maybe the back end would be, XLM. You'll have Hbar to do this and do that. And all that's going to work all over the world. But it's not going to be for the biggest, most powerful uh, banking system part, like the central banks and the Fed. That's not going to work that way, guys. They're going to take it private. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. We're trying to grow this community. We will keep you informed. If anything changes, we'll let you know. And we're going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. If that's not what you are looking for, probably not the person to follow, because I'm just going to share you all the information I get. I find it for myself because I want to have all the information before I put my hard-earned money into a risky asset. Because I truly believe, guys, that what's coming down the pipe in this next bull run, and probably the one after that, the one after that, over the next, couple, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, are going to be the biggest, best time in the world, in history, to change your financial future for the average person. So I know right now, guys, for whatever this is worth, crypto is in a bad place. A lot of craziness with FTX and all that. But guys, I highly encourage you to start stacking cash, not financial advice. Maybe dollar cost into your favorite tokens that you believe are going to be around 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now. They need to have real world utility. And educate yourself. Learn more about crypto. Learn about the metaverse. Learn about gaming. Learn about everything. NFTs, smart contracts. The more you know, the more money you're probably going to make. Now, if you are into trading, start studying charts. Start learning, all that type stuff. And don't get out of the game. I don't care if you just add $10 a week. Stay in the crypto market because it can change on a dime. And when it does, you want to be in the game, guys. Because I'm telling you, I can't be more positive. Yeah, all this is stressful. It is not turning out like I want. But hey, it is what it is. And no matter what, guys, it's going to be great. And we're just getting started. The SEC is not going to keep doing what they're going to do forever. We're going to get some regulation. Things are going to change. And the institution, guys, I'm telling you, we have never had any real institutional money in. It's been their pocket change. I bet there's not an institution, a large institution in the world that has had more than 1% of their money in blockchain or in crypto at all. I'm talking about investment dollars. Yes, you had Tesla putting Bitcoin on their books and MicroStrategy. But outside of that, guys, as far as investing, we haven't seen anything. Wait till these big pension funds and all that, all the Wall Street money starts putting, 1%, 2%, 5%. Some of them will probably go as high as 10%. It's going to be absolutely explosive. I'm excited. Anyway, guys, that's all I got. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit that notification so you don't miss anything. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And either way, hit that like button. Hey, if it triggered you, hit the not like button. But come back. Take care, guys.